here we go.
Promoted it broadly.
Kamala Harris from California. I want to go down that road because you know her. She backed the Freedom Fund that put murderers, rapists back on the street, still up and running. Harris promoted the bail fund in June 2020 that helped Black Lives Matter rioters out of jail, but only a fraction of the more than 41 million actually went to freeing rioters. That's from Minneapolis. Then she also did Prop 507 in California, which is coming under a lot of criticism.
Which is 507? I know a lot of propositions. I've never heard of 507.
The writing of how the prosecution for small crimes.
Oh, Prop 47.
47, I'm sorry.
Yeah, which is, by the way, the 10th toughest threshold in the United States of America, meaning you can steal up to $950 of goods and it will be charged as a misdemeanor. You can steal $2,500 in the state of Texas. Why you're not focusing on those other 40 states is beyond me. 10th toughest felony threshold in the United States of America.
That that's a fact. That she was a tough prosecutor in California is going to
You remember her primary for president? She was attacked from the left for being too tough, for being prosecutor, for having a prosecutorial mindset. So look, I mean, all these things, this is all fair game. But at the end of the day, she's got a record of accomplishments as being part of the Biden-Harris administration.
The people that say he gets it done, and it's not hope and change and touchy-feely stuff, it is substance and policy. What do you say to them? There's some people that think there should be more meat on the bone on this policy. If you go to the Harris website, there is no policy listed on the website.
Well, I'm happy to compare and contrast policies coming from the Trump campaign that have the form and substance of fog. This is a convention. This is about why and what. Karl Rove said it best today in an op-ed he wrote, says there's plenty of time for policy details.
Okay, so let's do an update on the California hellhole. So we all know that California is trash. People are living in squalor. People living in the gutter. Now, I'm not talking about the people in Beverly Hills, Malibu. I'm not talking about the rich people, and I'm not talking about the Chinese visitors that Gavin Newsom rolls out the red carpet for and kisses the asses of. I'm talking about just normal, everyday Californians. These people are living in squalor. Doo-doo on the ground. You go up there to the Oakland, San Francisco area. You go down the street from the goddamn airport, you might get robbed immediately because this place is completely unsafe. I wouldn't even feel comfortable walking there. There have been businesses that have told their employees, look, on lunch break, don't go down the street to get a sandwich. Don't go down there to get a hot dog. Look, bring your lunch. We might have to have a cafeteria here because if you go out on lunch break, you might not make it back. You might get mugged. People coming in from out of town going to fast food restaurants, get something to eat, just got out the airport. Their car gets robbed. This place is a hellhole. Walgreens, CVS closing locations, Nordstrom getting robbed left and right. We've seen these flash robberies where 10, 20 people just rush into a jewelry store, clothing store, snatch stuff, take off running. Phone stores. So we're going to take a look at Gavin Newsom's new plan. We're going to talk about it. But first, let's look at this clip of Gavin Newsom telling a story about what happened when he went to Target.
It started moments before a Wednesday press conference involving the mayors of California's big cities. Governor Gavin Newsom shared an encounter he had with a Target employee after seeing a shoplifter.
He's walking out. As we're checking out, the woman says, "Oh, he's just walking out. He didn't pay for that." I said, "Well, why aren't you stopping him?" She goes, "Oh, the governor."
Although it's unclear if grand theft would have applied to this situation, Newsom said he told the worker that at $950, California has the 10th toughest threshold in the U.S. for grand theft.
She looks at me twice and then she freaks out. She calls everyone over, wants to take photos. I'm like, "No, I'm not taking a photo. We're having a conversation. Where's your manager? How are you blaming the governor?" And it was, $380 later. And I was like, why am I spending $380? Everyone can walk the hell right out.
The chairwoman of the California Republican Party gave a shout out to the worker on X, saying in her post that Newsom and Democrats are to blame for surging crime in the state. According to state data, shoplifting totals in 2022 are higher than 2021 and 2020, but still lower than pre-pandemic levels. Political analyst Nolan Higdon says it's no surprise that as governor, Newsom is taking blame.
Newsom has certainly been active in state politics here for years at this point. So he definitely bears some of the responsibility. But, a lot of the things that have to do with crime and or the lack of accountability when it comes to crime, these have been structural issues that are decades in the making.
There's zero accountability among these Democrats, among these politicians. This is decades in the making. And who's been in charge for decades? Democrats. Who's been poisoning society in California for decades? Democrats. Soft on crime policies, incentivizing people to commit crimes. Oh, we can't lock them up. That'll be racist. On top of that, you're letting in all types of illegal immigrants. A lot of them are in gangs. You got the existing gangs. You got the Latino gangs. You got the black gangs. Not doing anything about it. First of all, they're killing each other, shooting at each other every weekend. On top of that, they're robbing jewelry stores, robbing clothing stores, getting a slap on the wrist. And that dumbass Prop 47 policy that they were talking about at the beginning of the video needs to go. Gavin Newsom tries to defend this. Well, this is the 10th strictest in the country. Look at Texas. Texas isn't as strict as us. Yet somehow Texas doesn't have those same type of crime issues. So if you're so strict and Texas isn't strict at all as far as retail theft, why do we see all this crap going on in California and not in Texas? More to it than just what's written on paper. And the idea of it is ridiculous to begin with. Oh, well, it's going to be a misdemeanor if it's $950. And what makes it worse is if it's not $950, more than likely the cops don't even show up. They ain't got time for it. They got other things to attend to. So Gavin Newsom's new effort, maybe because we're in the election year, Kamala Harris, she's from California. Well, not really from California. She's from Jamaica and Canada, but I guess she spent time in California. She was the AG there. So maybe Gavin wants to protect her, so he's issuing some type of bill. He's like, look, it's an election year. I need to do something because they're exposing her as being extremely soft on crime, bailing criminals out of jail, and locking up the wrong people in California. So maybe we need to try to show that the Democrats in California are not soft, and that Kamala Harris, being from California, is not soft on crime either.
Governor Gavin Newsom is taking a more aggressive approach to dismantling organized retail theft rings and getting so-called ghost guns off the street. After weeks of seeing dozens of viral videos showing flash mob robberies, the governor unveiled a multi-million-dollar proposal to cut the issue off at the root. NBC Bay Area's Melissa Colorado spoke one-on-one with the governor about the theft plan and his idea to copy Texas's abortion law framework for gun control.
If 2021 was the year of California tackling COVID and its variants, 2022 might be the year California gets tougher on crime, especially retail theft.
I don't understand. There's this sort of notion that everybody's a victim of circumstance when, in fact, we need to bolster our efforts to identify these individuals, to hold them to account and prosecute them.
Governor Gavin Newsom was in Dublin today to unveil his so-called real public safety plan. And that's where we joined him for a one-on-one interview.
Period, full stop. The laws are the laws. A misdemeanor is something that is punishable, not just by fine, but incarceration. It's time for people to do the job and hold people to account.
The governor's proposed legislative package includes $255 million in grants for local police departments to stop retail crime, the creation of CHP's own smash and grab enforcement unit, upgrading highway technology to track down criminals on the run, $30 million to help district attorneys focus on prosecuting retail theft.
Look, if you can't do it yourselves, the state's going to provide hundreds of millions of dollars, more units, and more oversight to drive that accountability.
Newsom's proposal also includes grant money to help small businesses recover after being hit by thieves. We also pressed the governor about his push to copy the state of Texas' controversial abortion ban, but instead use those same tactics for gun control. The proposed bill stands a good chance in the legislature, but if it passes, who's going to take the governor up on his offer to sue people for selling ghost guns or assault weapons in California?
Doesn't mean anyone is obliged, doesn't mean anyone is compelled. It means those that have knowledge will be rewarded, and we believe that will substantially aid our efforts to reduce the number of illegal guns in the state.
In Dublin, Melissa Colorado. And
Governor Newsom introduced a new gun law with a couple of points to be made. A new gun laws, 16 hours of training for anybody who wants to get a gun, and 2 references. Why do you say that this is pointless and ineffective?
Because of facts and statistics. They are completely lying about numbers and imaginary numbers to support an agenda of disarming the general public. The fact of the matter is law-abiding citizens don't commit crimes. Criminals commit crimes. Over the past several years, Newsom has been pro criminal friendly, while he completely shows that he's law-abiding Californians. This will do absolutely nothing to stop crime.
But I would have thought that given the level of gun violence around the country, people would want to do something. And if it's this 16 hours of training, they would go for that because you're doing something. But you reject it entirely.
I completely reject it entirely, because the people that want a concealed weapons permit are law-abiding residents that do not commit murder, do not commit crimes.
But what's wrong with violence? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but what's wrong with 16 hours of training?
Oh, absolutely nothing. They already get 8. And the people that are coming to us that are asking for CCWs, that's an absolute minimum just to get the permit. They are proficient with their guns. We know they're proficient with their guns. But the bottom line is they have it for their own safety, not to go out and rob a liquor store. A criminal is not going to go to 16 hours of gun safety so he can go rob a liquor store or go rob someone's house. This has absolutely nothing to do with fighting crime. It will do absolutely nothing to stop what you refer to as gun violence. It's people violence. It is not guns. Guns don't commit violence.
So what's the solution to the problem? Retail theft, people getting beat up at fast food restaurants, girl lost an eye at, I think it was a Habit Grill. Some Filipinos, they got beat down, robbed at a drive-thru, in the line at a drive-thru. What's the solution? Throw money at it. Gavin Newsom wants to create programs and bureaucracies. Is that going to help anything? No. But that's what the Democrats always do. Every time they're faced with a problem, let's just throw money at it. Yeah, we're in debt. Our state's in debt already. The country's in debt. Yeah, let's just continue to throw money at it. But they won't lock up the hooligans. You're giving these people slaps on the wrist. You don't want to send them to jail for years because that'll be racist. Because your constituents, your voters in California believe that'll be racist. So you have to appease the mob, bend the knee to the mob, and just give them a slap on the wrist and let the hooligans keep running amok in the neighborhood. It's not going to help to throw more money and create these programs with the California Highway Patrol if you're not holding the criminals accountable. But they don't understand that. And let's talk about that last piece, the ghost gun situation. So we know about the ghost guns, the 3D printed guns, don't have a serial number, untraceable. Gavin Newsom, his plan is to have the citizens sue the street thugs who sell these, because that's what they do in Texas in terms of abortion. A regular citizen can sue someone in Texas who's getting an abortion. They can sue them because that person is taking a life. So Gavin Newsom is saying, well, okay, we can just get snitches to sue the criminals who are creating these ghost guns. That's not going to help. Who the hell is going to, first of all, most citizens don't see this. They don't know this. They don't know where these people who are selling the ghost guns are. It's not like they're pulling them up to some clinic like in Texas. They go to the abortion clinic. These people who print these guns and sell them, they live in the criminal underworld. So how in the hell is a regular citizen going to sue them? And why would a regular citizen want to sue them to begin with? Because now they might get got. Some criminal warlord down there in charge of manufacturing and selling these guns, these illegal guns. And somebody say, you know what? You're a gang leader and you're making all this money, probably millions of dollars selling ghost guns. I'm going to sue you. How the hell do you think that's going to work out? Just a bad idea overall. But this is Gavin Newsom's plan for California. Throw money at it and create snitches against criminal warlords. So let me know what you guys think about this. Leave me your thoughts below. Share the video. Thanks for watching.